Hey, what's up? Welcome everybody. In this video, we'll build a activity feed in our web forum website. So currently, if you go to profile, so this is the user profile page. Currently, we are just displaying all of the threads of user and comments. So what we want to achieve here is we want to display all the activity of user. We want to track the activity like if user creates a thread, updates or deletes, we want to show it here. Also, we want to show if the user replied to comment or any other activity related to comment. So in future we might add some more features. So we want to track activity related to those model as well, like if user creates category and whatever it might be. So let's get started by creating a table to store these activity feeds. So to create the table we need a model, so let's create both. So PHP artisan make model will create a feed model, and at the same time we'll create migration as well. Okay, let's after it created migration, let's switch to create feeds. Alright, so this is our create feeds table migration. So here I'll add some fields. Alright, so first field is user ID, which is required to track which user created this feed. Second one is type, so what kind of activity it is, whether it is creation of something, delete, update, or whatever it is. So that will be storing inside this type field. So feedable ID and feedable type are, so feedable ID is if users are done some activity related to thread, so this will be the ID of thread and this will be the thread class. So basically it is the polymorphic table. So yeah, you can see about polymorphic relationship, eloquent polymorphic relationship in documentation. So this is the basic structure. After that, let's migrate it first. Okay, after it is migrated, let's go to thread model. So here we'll listen for any, so here we'll listen, basically we'll listen for eloquent model event. So the way we listen is static function. So we'll define boot function, and okay, so here we can listen for any of event, like for example if thread is created. So if thread is created, this model will this method will get hit, and similarly there are other method like creating, similarly deleting, updating, like that. So let's start by created. So we'll have access to that model which is we just get created here, and we can perform any action there. So when a thread got created, we want to call this record feed or record activity, whatever you want to call. So we haven't created that method yet. Let's create in a moment. First let's model. Okay, let's add that method here. So if you see documentation for polymorphic relationship, this is the structure, and you have to define a couple of these methods to let these model know that they are in polymorphic relationship with each other. Okay, so let's define them. So I'll define this here. So we'll call it feeds, and the relationship between thread and feeds is polymorphic. So return this morph many, and we need to define the types, name. So name will be fee table, which is this. So fee table is the term what we used to define relationship, so we need to use that. So okay, so now that relationship is set, and now we can call that here. So record feed. Okay, so here in this method we'll write code related to saving to database. Let's call it thread to make it more clear, because we are inside thread. So this will be thread. Okay, we don't need to pass that, we just need thread record feed. Okay, so here we are calling this, and here we need to have access to what kind of event this is. So this is created. So this looks fine. Okay, so what we can do here is this, and then access feedable, sorry, feeds, and then create. We can pass array, and then user ID will be auth ID, and the type will be event, and type will be event, and here we want to do is like created thread or created replies, whatever. So here will be the name of model. So the model name. Okay, so event, and we want to get the class name. So here if class name is, we just want to get like thread. So there is helper in Laravel to get base class name. So class base name, and then we need to pass the class name, so which will be this. So this will be the app thread class, and then base name will just get us thread in capital letter. So let's make it lowercase, string to lower. So this will give us created thread like this, created thread. Perfect. So if there is any other model, it will give us created comment. Okay, now we can test if it is working by going to browser, and let's try to create a thread. Create a thread. I'll add any subject, feedable, feed test. Okay, it says mass assignment error. Oh, I got it. So what we are doing here is we are trying to insert this into feeds table, and we have not assigned anything. We haven't specified any fillables here. So, and yeah, I'll disable that mass assignment feature. So now let's try again. Yeah, it should have, I think it saved. Let's check in our database. Okay, so here inside feeds table we have the ID of user who created, and type, and feedable ID, and all stuff. Cool. So similarly what we can do is we trigger this record feed method while thread is created. Also what we can do is we can call it for static created deleted, and then we have to pass what kind of this, and this will work like that. So this is fine for this thread model, but if we want to record the activity for any other model like comments model and categories, any other model, so we have to repeat this code. So what we'll do is we'll create a trait, and then we'll just specify trait where we want to record this feature, so where we want to implement that record feature. So let's start by creating that. I will create inside app. So I'll create here a class, actually it will be trait, and I'll call it record feed, records feed. Okay, so it created, and now let's specify that trait here. So records feed. Okay, now after specifying the this trait, we'll put some method up into this trait. So PHP storm allows me to do it easily, like pull members up, and I'll pull that to records feed trait, and I'll put this record feed and this feed method there. So refactor, continue. Okay, so one last thing what we need to do is, yeah, we'll require this boot method there. So what we'll do here is so here we can also do like we can call boot and records feed. So Laravel allows us to define the boot method in trait itself. So the convention is boot and then name of trait. So here we can call these two methods or any method related to recording activity, like so. Alright, to make it more generic, we can call it model, and for now let's delete this. Yeah, so it looks good now. Yeah, we don't need to do anything here, we just added this trait and everything is defined there. And if we want to record feed for comment, so let's go to comment.php, and we just need to add this record feed, and that's it. So now let's test by commenting on any, looks like okay, sorry, it should be protected static function. Now let's try. Okay, so let's reply on it or comment on it, feed comment. Okay, let's switch to database, refresh. Yeah, created comment by same user, on this ID of okay, this comment ID. So now we can successfully record all feeds. So we can include this trait on any model we want to record feed for. So one last thing, we need to define a relationship, polymorphic relationship, link that into feed also. So let's make that method. So if you see in documentation, we need to define the commentable, or like in our case feedable, to so if you want to get so from feed, if we want to know to which model this feed is related, we need this method. So for example, if this feed, we can access this feed and we want to know in which model it is related, and all other data related to that, we will access this method. So feedable and return this morph to. That's it. Okay, so now everything is set. Now we need to display it in user profile page. Okay, let's go to our profile view. Okay, user profile controller index. Okay, profile index, and here we are showing name, I'm showing comments. All right. Okay, let's remove everything. Instead, what we'll do is show auth name, and instead of passing these threads and comments, we'll pass activity or feeds, and we can access that by going user and calling feeds. So for that, we need to define relationship between user and feeds. This has many class. There we go. Okay, let's first see what we got. Okay, let's visit profile page. So we got 2, so everything we need. Okay, so let's pass this variable. So we are passing that to profile index view, and in profile index view we'll loop through these feeds and display our feeds. So we'll make a simple panel and we'll display here feed type. Okay, here for now we can just display user, and from here we can access the model. So if that is thread, we can display the thread name, thread subject. So if that is comment, we have to handle it differently. And yeah, so we cannot use single view to display both kind of activities. So for now, just display it and see if it's working or not. Okay, created thread, created comment, user created comment, user created thread. So we might want to display any other thing, and if so, we might want to group them by certain. So we want to have different color for this and different for that. So the easy way to do that is to use different view and include it according to the feed type. So here inside resource views, I will create a new blade file which will be inside feeds, and I'll create it thread. Alright, so it created inside feeds folder, created thread. Similarly, I will have individual blade file for each. So like created comment, so it should match the model name. So created comment, deleted comment, yeah, so that will be easier. And now what I will do is I will just cut this out from here, and for thread this, and for comment this, and here according to type. Okay, so according to the feed type we'll include that. So we just need to do is include, and then we need to pass, and then we need to pass that. Feeds dot, yeah, we can do like this, dot alright, so everything works fine, and now we can tackle that individually inside here. Like, so you can also check here if view exists, then include. And for created thread user from feed, we can access feedable, and then thread. For comment, we can access like feedable and then comment. Okay, so this is the basic idea. You can if you want to group them by date or any other thing, you can group it here, user feeds, and from here you can just call group by, and then group by date or any other field, or by type. So you can try those, and let me know if you have any questions. So hope this helped you a bit, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.